Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to All Praise Picks. Today we're looking at the WNBA. We have the Chicago Sky playing against the Atlanta Dream in Atlanta on July 22nd, 2024. So currently the Sky are 6-11, which is fifth place in the Eastern Conference, and the Dream are 7-10, which is third place in the Eastern Conference. So only one game separates these two teams from being the top three team in the Eastern Conference, and I think that both teams will come to play in this one. I got two parlays for you guys. I'm leaning towards the Dream in all honesty in this one. I think that they have just a better spot being at home and have been playing better overall offensively, especially after the Commissioner's Cup break. But I got two parlays for you guys on BetMGM. As always, I'll break down the lines, give you my thoughts, and hopefully if you tap in, we can all win. So this is the first parlay they have at plus 150. It's a 7-leg parlay. The first leg of this parlay is the Dream at plus 10.5 points, essentially not to lose the game by more than 11 points. And I do think that the Dream could win this game. In their first matchup on June 8th, they played in Chicago, and the Dream won that game 89-80. So they won by 9 points, and they're playing at home in this one. So I do feel comfortable taking them at a plus 10.5 spread. The next line of this parlay is for Jordan Canada to have over 4 assists, and she just did return to the Dream, and she's been playing more consistently in her last two games, having over 28 minutes in those two games, and she also had over 6 assists in both those games, with 6 assists versus the Connecticut Sun and 9 versus the New York Liberty, both of which were road games, and now she's back home, and I think she has a good chance of playing better at home, especially versus the Chicago Sky, who don't really play that well defensively. I do think that she should have a lot of open looks and assist opportunities to Tina Charles as well as Alicia Gray. And overall, Jordan Canada has been playing very well defensively, so I do think that she'll be on the floor for a majority of this game, defending against Chanity Carter as well as the other guards for the Chicago Sky. I also like Tina Charles to have over 12 points and 4 rebounds in this one. On the season, she's averaging 14 points and 8.8 rebounds per game, and she's gone over 12 points in her last 6 games, as well as over 4 rebounds in every game except for one this season. So she is a pretty stable rebounder, and I think with the return of Jordan Canada as well as the recent Commercial Cup break that they had, Tina Charles' offense has just been playing much better, and she also plays better against younger players in terms of rookies, and she's facing 2 rookies in Angel Reese and Cardoso. And in that game that they played on June 8th that I mentioned earlier, she had 22 points and 7 rebounds on 6 of 11 shooting and 9 of 10 from the free throw line. So she could get her 12 points just from the free throw line, especially if she's drawing fouls at home, which I do think she has a good chance of doing. The next lines of this parlay are for players from the Chicago Sky. And starting with Miana Marbury, I like her to have over 15 points plus rebounds and assists in this one. On the season, she's averaging 15 points, 4.1 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game. So she could clear this line just from her points. But overall, I just think that she's been involved with the offense in terms of her rebounds and assists a lot more than her points. And they're leaning more towards Chanity Carter to score for their offense, as well as Angel Reese, who's been on a recent double-double streak. In their last game versus Atlanta, Mabry had 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists on 4 of 12 field goal attempts, and only 1 of 4 from the three-point line. So I do think that, especially if Chicago's offense is playing well in this one, it'll be because of Mayberry and because she's making her shots. Her offensive game has been up and down recently, but she's gone over this 15-plus points, rebounds, and assist mark in her last 5 games. So she should be able to do so in this one. And the next 2 lines I have are for player rebounds. So I have Angel Reese to go over 8 rebounds and for Cardoso to go over 5 rebounds. Speaking upon Reese, she's gone over 10 rebounds in her last 12 games thus far, and I think she's definitely going for a WNBA record in terms of her double-doubles. And in order to do that, she needs to get at least 10 rebounds in this one, and I do like her to get at least 8. In her game versus Atlanta, she had 13 points and 13 rebounds in 32 minutes, so I do think that she's a pretty solid rebound option. And the same goes for Camila Cardoso. In their last game versus Atlanta, she only had 5 rebounds, but since that game, she's gone over 5 rebounds in all but 1 game, and she's gone over 10 rebounds in 4 out of the last 5 games. So I do think that she should have a good chance of getting at least 5 rebounds in this one, especially since her defensive presence is more established since that last game versus Atlanta. But at plus 150, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, it's a 150% return on your investment, which is 1.5x, and that's a great return on investment. And I would just suggest having bankroll consciousness and an overall understanding of your finances when deciding to place this parlay if you do decide to place it with me. And this is the next parlay that I have at plus 180. And it's just leaning towards other player props in this one, as well as a point under for this guy. But starting at the top, I have Alicia Gray to have over 15 plus points, rebounds, and assists in this one, as well as over 12 points scored. So in their last game versus the Sky, Alicia Gray had 14 points, but she was only 3 of 9 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3-point range. But since their commissioner's cup break, she scored 17 and 24 points in her last 2 games, and she's shot much better, going 6 of 10 in the game that she had 17 points and 8 of 13 in the game that she had 24 points. And I do think that she does play better at home, so I do think that she'll should be able to score in this one, especially with Jordan Canada back and being able to set her up offensively is a good look for her in terms of her scoring props. But I do like Angel Reese also to have over 10 points and 10 rebounds, essentially to get a double-double in this game too. I think that the Dream, while they are a decent team defensively and they have been playing better overall, they're still one of the bottom 3 teams in the league in terms of their overall defense. And Angel Reese should be able to get her numbers against them like she did in her first game, going 13 of 13 from points and rebounds. So I do like her to get over 10 of each in this one too. I also do like Trinity Carter to score more than 12 points in this game. So she's gone over 12 points in her last 7 games, and she should be able to in this one, especially if the defensive focus is on Angel Reese and trying to stop her from getting her double-double, even though I don't think 10 points is really a high mark for Angel Reese to make, especially in this one. I think overall, Trinity Carter should be able to score 12 points, and it really just depends on who Jordan Canada is defending. If Jordan Canada is defending Trinity Carter for the primary game, I do think that this is not a good look for her points. But if she's defending Mayberry for most of the game, I think that Trinity Carter should be able to get her looks, especially from the field, and she should be able to get to the free throw line as well. I also like Cheyenne Parker to get over 5 points, and she plays for the Dream. But on the season, she's averaging 9.6 points per game, and she's gone over 5 points in her last 4 games, including going over 9 points in her last 3 games. So I do think that with the return of Jordan Canada, she's also been more involved offensively, and she should be able to get enough looks in order to get at least 5 points in this one. But I also like this guy to score under 90 points. This guy, they play a very fast-paced offense, I would say, and in comparison to the Dream, the Dream play a very slow and methodical, and I think that with this game being at home for the Dream, it probably will lean towards a slower-paced game, similar to the game that this guy played against the Las Vegas Aces, where the Aces really did slow down the game and prevented this guy from scoring, especially in the fourth quarter. I could see the same thing happening in this one. So I took this guy to have under 90 points. And even if they score 80 points, I think that would be an offensive accomplishment for them. But they still would be under 90, which would allow this parlay to hit. But at plus 180, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have a 180% return on your investment, which is just under 2x, but is still a great return on investment. And I would just suggest having financial consciousness and bankroll management when deciding to place this bet if you do decide to place it with me. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more WNBA and MLB parlays coming out later this week. And until next time, peace out.